Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of the First Descendant running on PC. Uh-oh, it's got that lagginess problem going on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's really bad. That is really bad. We'll see how it plays here in a minute. But that cursor was super duper lagged just a minute ago. We actually have built all the swords and their copies, so we actually don't need to play Void Vessel ever again, unless we want to. I think we'll do some Sigma Sector so we can get some points for our room. And we get some more emotes. Or some figurines or something. Working on your last sword still? Yeah, I mean I just got the last sword yesterday. So I built both the Deus Ex and the Shadow. Pretty neat. I don't know what happened. Maybe I need to reboot my system.
알가스 보조물 내부에서 마르케 생명 반응이 감지됐다.
I've been having trouble with my system lately. I'm not sure if it's in the game necessarily. breaking down around me. And my PC behaving a little weirdly with its kind of randomized reboots everywhere. And got my alternator on my truck went out. I gotta spend some money on that too.
작전 지역 퇴출 시작. 고생 많았습니다. 계승자.
I bought a replacement drive for my Windows PC, which I'm playing on now, but then it didn't really solve my problem. I thought my drive was going out, but it might actually be my motherboard going out. So, which I don't look forward to replacing, because then that means I have to tear the whole thing apart and put it back together, which
계승자.
is not fun.
작전 지역 도착 확인.
That kind of work is not fun.
조심해서 진행하십시오. 아르케 수용체. 생명 반응 확인.
Effective controllers. Yeah, see, it is just moving whichever direction it wants to move. Okay, here, get out of here. That's some seriously bad lag. I'll give it the old reboot. Building a PC is easy. No, I wouldn't say so. It's easier than it was in like the 80s and 90s, and the the early 2000s. So, but it also kind of depends on your tools, right? And whether or not you have sausage fingers. So, because if you have like a big computer case, then it's a little easier to work. If you want to have like a smaller case that doesn't take as much room, then you're going to be struggling a little bit and putting it all together, getting cables routed and tying everything down. But it's not impossible. It's just it's kind of time consuming. And it used to be you could like do stuff wrong in the past, but nowadays, things only fit in one direction. There's like a lot of clear indicators on where to put stuff and where stuff should go. But I don't know. I wouldn't say it's easy. There are plenty of people that can't do it. Honestly, with the spend that you'd have to do, and your labor and time factored in, it's actually easier, much easier, just to buy a PC. you might want to buy a PC that's not from like a major manufacturer. Like you wouldn't want to buy like an Asus or a Dell or you know, an Alienware or something like that. You can buy it from like a smaller company where they would use just generic PC parts, where they don't have like specialized motherboards that they'd buy. Then overall you'd be saving money if you factor in your time gathering all the parts and the labor it is in building a PC. I mean, that's ultimately what I did. I built my old PC, my Windows 7 PC myself, and I put it in a you know, a tower case, so it's a larger PC. But then when I went to go buy a new PC, I was like, well, you know what, I'm just gonna go and find a vendor that makes these you know, smaller form factor PCs, and that ended up being, you know, fast and cheap. Much easier than if I would have done all this stuff myself. Okay, this is better. Oh, that was really laggy. I mean, I was like, what? This game is like playing itself. I don't know. It's like somebody telling you like building model kits is easy, right? Like technically building like a model kit car. You know, it's technically easy because all, you know, it's not like you're making the parts. You're just buying a kit and assembling it together. But the act of assembling it is actually a pain in the ass.
여기는 하운드 액추얼. 모든 인원에게
You know,
전달한다.
not an impossible task.
보이드 폭풍
I mean,
심화를
people can do it. I
작전
can do it.
환경에
You know, I
주의해서
can show people how to do it, but it's easy is not the word I would use. I mean, I think of it as easier because I remember building PCs in the 90s. So yes, compared to building PCs in the 90s, yes, it is easier.
주변에
But no,
생명
it's not
반응이
easy.
감지되는 아르케 수용체가 있다.
And it's not even cost effective. I said, if you buy a pre-made PC from you know, a respectable vendor, you're gonna save money that way. That's what I plan on doing to replace this PC. I'm just gonna buy it basically pre-made. Again, nothing with a specialized motherboard. You know, built PCs that are built like you build on yourself. Basically, honestly.
종료. 수송기를 그쪽으로 보내겠다. 어서 귀환해.
You know, like in the future, I may not buy a PC in a case this small. You know, I want to have something that's maybe a little bit bigger in case I do need to do some replace a part or something. Because yeah, my hands barely fit in this thing the way it currently is. And when I went to go swap out the hard drive, it's like it's like the amount of screws that I had to unscrew in order to get to the thing that, you know, the part that I needed was
병력 강화 완료.
sort of silly.
수송선은 근접 항공주와 대기할 것.
You know, having something with small form factors and everything's close together.
알고서 수비행선은 적으로 보이드 폭풍을 돌파하고 있었어. 대장, 정수시키려면 지금의 기회다. 서둘러.
Are you shooting? What's going on there?
예승자, 공중 지원이 대기 중이다. 신호 주면 지상 제압을 시작하겠다. 머리 조심해.
카운트 액츄얼, 사령부로 전송. 임무 완료했다. 수송기 지원을 부탁한다.
병력 강화 완료. 수송선은 근접 항공지원 대기하겠다. 컨트롤 빈다 계속자.
I hit absolutely nothing. Ah, so this is not really the kind of venue.
벌거스 특수 비행체가 제 모습으로 멈춰 있습니다. 후방비로 노출됐어. 격추를 부탁합니다.
계승자, 공중 지원이 대기 중이다. 신호 주면 지상 제압을 시작하겠다.
I never thought Frostwatcher would ever be any good. But it's actually pretty good for her.
그렇게 될 것이다.
임무 종료. 전원 수송기 위치로 이동 바란다. 고생 많았다고. 눈치챘나봐요. 서둘러 처치해주세요.
That's all mine. 조금이라도 늦으면 변이물질이 소멸할 겁니다. 훌륭합니다. 믿고 있었어요. It takes us a long time to finish one of these. I mean, she's a single target damage girl. Oh, the lagginess is back. Oh no. Hopefully the lagginess doesn't stick around. Oh no, it is a problem. Yeah, that is rough. I mean, why does it happen?
목표 정조준.
Then it kind of goes away, and then it comes back. Let's try a different mode. this isn't stick drift. This is actually just like the input's just not reading. Yeah, this is what is going on. Listen, I'm pretty sure it affects only the controller, because it doesn't seem to be affecting the mouse or the mouse and keyboard. Yeah, this is not even playable. Sorry, guys, I have to leave. Yeah, see, the mouse movement's just fine. Yeah, I remember you mentioning it. And it's funny, I hadn't had that problem until the very next day after you mentioned it, and then I was like, oh, yeah, it's definitely a problem for me. But it only happened in the morning, and then when I played in the evening, it was fine. But now, it's the evening, and it's not fine. See, like, this is fine here. My controller is moving the way it's supposed to. You know, the cursor's moving the way it's supposed to. Yeah, I could play with a mouse and keyboard, but I mean, when you're streaming and somebody plays with a mouse and keyboard, it's really distracting. You know, the way people move their mouse around, kind of the jitteriness of it. You know, it's much nicer, like smoother movement if you're playing with a controller. But if you're playing with a mouse and keyboard, it's just like it's actually kind of hard to watch. And, you know, if you're, as the person using the mouse and keyboard, it's just fine because you're like super hyper focused on the center of the screen and keeping track of where you're moving. But if you're just like a third party watching and not moving the mouse yourself, then it's just like, I don't know if it's headache inducing, but it is super annoying to watch. Let me try 400% and see if that's better. I may have to exit and come back in. That's what seemed like it helped last time. They did just patch the game, so I mean, it might be just a product of the patch. And I don't know what the percentage is of people who play this game on PC and use a controller. It's probably pretty low. I don't imagine there's like a ton of people playing this game on a controller. But I just feel a little more comfortable using a controller. And it just looks better for the stream. Yeah, things are not being responsive. get her to do the number 3 or number 3. There we go. So laggy. Yeah, like I wasn't even touching the controller. It was just walking all by itself. And this is a controller with holophix sticks, so yeah, it's definitely not stick drift. I mean, this controller can't. It can't have stick drift. Oh, invisible gun. Yeah, I think that was one of the bugs that they were fixing as part of the patch. The sword and the gun being kind of buggy. I think they mentioned that in the patch notes. So yeah, you're not the only one as far as that bug is. Ooh, this thing finally came out. I've been pushing these buttons for a while now. Get her number 2 to come out. Can't even get her number 3 to activate. There we go. So bad. It's a good thing everybody else is really strong around me. If I was like the damage dealer here, I mean, we'd be in trouble. I mean, technically I'm the damage dealer, but everybody else can be damage dealer. The worst thing is, I don't know if it's actually my PC or the game itself, but, I mean, I think it's the game in this case. Yeah, there goes my stick. Just moving by itself. Resync my controller too. Oh, never mind. Okay. That part is definitely my PC. I have to reinstall Windows. It's just it's this problem I've been chasing. I'm not sure how to solve it. Well, reinstalling Windows is such a... Well, it used to be worse. But it's just getting all your stuff installed. Getting all that back, that's kind of a pain. Remembering all your passwords. The remembering the passwords thing is the worst because, like, I have like a password manager, and all the passwords are super random. So, you know, you try to reinstall stuff and sign into your accounts, and it's like, oh man, I don't want to type this stuff in. I don't want to type in a 20-character password with random symbols and letters and capitalization numbers everywhere. Yeah, I actually tried to get onto 25H2, but it always fails. Like every time I try to download that pack, yeah, fails every single time. So thankfully I'm not on it, but not because I didn't want to be on it. It's just because it won't install. Yeah, I mean, I have my passwords in a passwords manager on my phone, but you still gotta type this stuff out, right? 20-character password, you know, sometimes 25 or 24. You know, with all a bunch of random stuff in it. It's just like, ugh. And then you have to type it in twice, right? And nowadays, you know, of course, your typing is hidden, so then I have to type it all out, and then, you know, unhide it, and make sure I didn't screw up somewhere along the ways. Then type it in again, unhide that, sign in. In some cases, if I have two-factor, if it forces me to use two-factor, then I have to go to my two-factor app, and then, you know, okay it there. It's like, man, it's nice and secure, I guess. The only thing it's preventing is me getting into my system. Okay, that is better. Yes. I think the worst part is, you know, you have all these security measures in place, and then, you know, you still may end up getting hacked through social engineering. you know, if you're the kind of person that has like real words in some form or another in your password. They say that if you just make like long passwords with real words, that you'll remember them, and then just make them complex enough with phrases. But you know, people don't really think about random phrases as their password, so they usually try to put something that they remember that has something to do with their life, and so that's how people end up hacking your system. Is that they'll look through your social profile and then they'll try all sorts of combinations of words, which may be something that you use all the time, and then they'll break into your accounts that way. So I just like straight random. That's it. So I don't know or memorize any of my passwords. It would be very, very difficult for me to remember these passwords. Oh, this is maybe not the right build for this. Oh well. I don't have her Colossus build done yet. Just the mobbing build. The mobbing build and the Colossus build are drastically different. But not right now, they aren't. I wish I didn't have to play games. I do wish I could survive on Linux build. But if you play games, you're gonna use Windows. Unless you want to play shitty games, then you might be able to play games on your Mac. All the Mac, they'll keep them maybe iOS if you're into mobile games. But straight up Mac. Oh yeah, my Mac friends will be like, well, I'll just use Wine. It's like, well, then you're just using Windows. Not really playing games on your Mac. Just having your Mac run Windows code. That's really not the same thing at all. mean, for me, my controller's acting funny. But for everybody else, I'm not sure what's going on there. I have a map that I use for work, which is why I'm just like, I'm totally sold on this ecosystem. I think the phones are fine. If you don't mind the, getting locked into that store. Though I didn't spend all my time on an iPhone, so a lot of stuff doesn't seem intuitive to me. Like if you've been using an iPhone for a while, then all the gestures and stuff make sense to you. But if you just start off and hand somebody a phone, an iPhone, and it's like, hey, figure out how to look up addresses or how to dial numbers or how to use the camera. It's like, this stuff doesn't make any sense to me. I wonder if it's just big. Well, I mean, we did a couple different modes though, so it's not just like a single mode that's a problem. We'll try one more game, and then if we still get lag problems, then we'll call it a night. Yeah, I'm only an Android guy because that's where I started. Like, if I started with an iPhone, I'm sure it would make sense to me. Like, all the stuff I can do. The various finger gestures. And, in your head you think, boy, this is really intuitive. I look at it and just like, okay, so 3 fingers does what? And 2 fingers, how is that something that makes sense? I think you and I have different versions of what intuitive means. But if you hand somebody that's has only used an iPhone and Android, and then ask them to do simple stuff, they're like, this is crazy. Feels like I'm using an Etch-a-Sketch. Oh yeah, okay. I hear you. The fact that you said Etch-a-Sketch means that you're mad old, but okay. Maybe technology is not for you if you don't know what that means. You still want to go do it. I'm mainly a Linux guy, so I tend to lean more towards things that use the Linux kernel. I mean, Mac is Unix too, so it's not like it's Windows-like. Underneath it, it's called Linux, or Unix. Linux. But the interface is all not quite the same. Unless you decide to do everything in command windows, which since nothing is designed for you to use command window. They got their back as far as like stopping Windows, but at the same time, not Windows underneath the hood. It's Windows-ish outside of, or vice versa. Maybe Windows occasionally. I guess if you're gonna use like stickers. Okay, well, this doesn't seem to be affected by the lag. I don't know. All I know is I spent the better half of the afternoon making a Windows bootable disk, or memory stick, I guess. And then I was like, oh, I don't remember my Windows key, my registration key. Go dig up the box because that's where your stupid ass key is physically on the box. I'm like, man, who thought this was a good idea? Or you can make some installation media. You make an ISO that basically uses your set of keys. But then if you're trying to boot with an ISO with a Windows boot partition, it's not something that's actually really easy to do. So it's like, okay, now I gotta boot a Linux partition so I can boot Windows ISO. These things don't make sense to me. Sorry, I'm getting in the weeds there. It's a super nerd talk there. I sound like somebody that talks to me about World of Warcraft. I was like, dude, I don't even know if you're speaking English. Pretty sure it's not. Software. So on my Windows drive, another drive. Files. Oh, okay, Windows. Make sure you use an NVMe slot. I'm not gonna let you boot that shit off of a USB port. My God. Dig inside the motherboard. Swap out my NVMe drives. Nothing's about convenience. No, I thought I wasn't going to be playing this anymore, and here I am. Just because this one isn't lagging for me. The other modes are giving me some controller lag, except for this mode. I was like, no, I don't want to keep playing this. I'm done making swords. Unless I want to be an absolute maniac and make 2 sets of swords. I don't even know why I would do that, but... I mean, some of the weapons I do have 2 sets of. I have 2 sets of Albions and 2 sets of Pythons. And I have 2 sets of Research Relics. 2 sets of swords? The trouble is to make 1 sword. I don't ever plan on doing that. It is a total curse. This is what it feels like to play. Play Warframe, sorry. All my friends who still play Warframe are like, oh no, this game's drop rates are way worse. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. My man. This game is easy stream. I get way more stuff way sooner in this game than I ever did in Warframe. Or Destiny 2 for that matter. Another stingy ass game. And that game is completely dying. So, yeah. Or that's what some people say. I don't know. When people say games are dying, I don't think they really know what that means. Some people are playing Battlefield. I think a tiny number of players have decided to play Battlefield instead of Call of Duty. But that is not certainly everyone. Yeah, Fantasy Star is its own beast. I mean, that is I don't know. The game does still feel like it was made 2,000 years ago. I mean, that's what it was. It feels like an old-ass game. Where they just bolted a bunch of stuff on it. And I love the Fantasy Star universe. You know, I'm not a Fantasy Star hater. But man, oh man, that game needs like a second major overhaul. It did already get a major overhaul 6 years ago, I think? 5 or 6 years ago? Or maybe a little bit longer than that, but yeah, it needs another one, for sure. Like, I'd love to be able to play that game again. I love that universe, but it is just a chore. I'll forever be a Fantasy Star lover. Ever since Fantasy Star 2. And definitely since Dreamcast Fantasy Star. the other modes, I would get a fair amount of lag. Actually, I haven't logged into Phantasy Star or Final Fantasy Online for quite a while now. Again, love Final Fantasy Online. But I don't know if I'll ever really go back. Especially with such a time commitment. My catalog, my back catalog of games is too high for me to spend one time, you know, one entire weekend playing Fantasy or Final Fantasy Online. Way too much time. And to really not get too far. Cool. At the same time. Now I only need to come here for gold. Feels sort of liberating. I'm not a slave to all the resources that you have to get. I don't even have to open any damn boxes. It's nice not having to care about the boxes. Hopefully they don't ever put the daily goals in the old level, yeah, the old void vessel. That really sucked when they made us play the old void vessel for the weekly goal. I'm like, oh man, don't make me play old void vessel. I hate that level. That's how I got Haley, but probably one good thing about it. One thing at a time. Yujin will have to play old Void Vessel.
목표 선택.
Oh no!
차분하게.
Really, what I'd like to see them do is utilize the older levels more. I was running around the fortress the other day. Yeah, I mean that whole area is super cool. It's like so many cool buildings and little areas you can have missions in. But it's like nothing new is there. You only play them for the story missions and then you never go back. But I feel like there should be more there. What's up there? The place is cool. Maybe people don't give them enough credit for all those story areas. Who should we work on next? I think I've seen a number of Sharons out there. I was going to work on Sharon, but there's a couple pretty strong builds out there already. Enough so that you could, easily solo the Void Erosion Purge with her challenge mode. I don't know, think about it. I was done playing Haley until they gave her an ultimate. And I'm pretty happy with the way this build is. It gets the job done, and I generally don't fall over dead. Every few minutes. Still do a fair amount of power or a fair amount of timing. Kind of much player. It's different from the other settings. It doesn't feel like you're just swapping characters out using the same weapon, the same components and reactors. She genuinely feels different than Why are you still up there? They never track you when you're up there. Gold. Oh, okay. Now the gold, I don't get it. What the heck, man? It's like playing Monster Hunter. Whatever you desire, there's a sensor in there to make sure you don't get it. Well, I guess I could work on her intercept build. Like I said, the mobbing build I think I'm basically happy with, but I didn't build anything for Colossus.
특별한 인간 아이야. 무엇이 필요하니?
Because yeah, this build will die in no time flat against
모듈이 다 똑같다면
against
제가 필요
Lava
없겠죠.
Citadel. Unfortunately, it's just not built for that kind of fight. It's easier just to place arena in that fight anyway.
사무관, 이 계승자에게 물건 하나 내줘.
I was looking through signs for no soliciting to put in front of my door, and I saw one that was just like, do not knock, no exceptions, and it gave a list of like for religion or I don't know, like pesticides. It gave like a bunch of stuff that you couldn't knock for, and the only thing that you could knock for is if you were like, FedEx or Amazon or GHS. But the one that really got me was like do not knock for candy, like specifically to be a jackass for Halloween. Do not knock for candy. I was like, really? All of those things I agree with, except for the don't knock for candy. It's like, it's Halloween. Go ahead and knock for candy. Man, I'm not gonna be that much of a jerk. I just don't want people to sell me the other random shit. But a kid can knock for candy on my door. I mean, come on. You bought 2 of them last week? Yeah, I just recently, I mean, this neighborhood kills me because it's not like a super rich neighborhood. Like, if you go around here, I mean, people don't have like multi-story homes where I live in this neighborhood. So to knock door to door for like installing solar panels or to like sell like farm fresh fruits and vegetables or to sell pesticide, kind of things that are sort of expensive. What would really be considered like luxury items here in this area? I'm just like, who are you selling to? Nobody here has money. It's like, you were barking up the wrong tree. This is, you're way in the wrong neighborhood if you want to sell this stuff. Don't sell anything here that costs hundreds of dollars. Multiple hundreds of dollars. $50 or less, and I mean less for this neighborhood. Or my favorite one is, I have a Nissan truck. But it's a little older. And it's not too beat up looking, it actually looks pretty good still, but I'll get the occasional Yahoo over here who's like, hey, who knocks on my door and is like, hey,
수송기.
is that your
병력
truck out in
강화
front?
완료. 대기 패턴으로 이동 중.
It's like, would you be willing to sell it?
계승자.
I'm like, well, it
여기는
doesn't have a
사령
for sale sign up
적들의
there,
제공에
jackass.
온다. 지금까지 좀 파괴버리고
And
가.
yeah, I'll sell it for $1.4 million. Like everybody that knocks on your door that looks at an old truck or an old car and wants to buy it, I mean, they never have money. It's like, why are you knocking on my door when you don't have money? You can't even afford to buy my truck. I don't think you can buy my truck for a couple $100. Like, go to a lot, you bastard. And they don't make the size of buy truck anymore. I mean, I guess in America you either buy like a 4-cylinder, smaller truck, or you buy a big ass, 8-cylinder truck. There's like nowhere in between. Like I have like a 6-cylinder, like a mid-sized truck, which I guess didn't sell, so we don't really make those kind of trucks anymore. But I don't need a big ass F-150. I just don't need it. But I want more than just a 4-banger, because occasionally I haul shit. There's 5 torque, bark molds empty on my garage. I haul rocks and stuff, but I can't have just a 4-cylinder. Not for my needs, at least.
목표 300. 실드 전량 소모.
Who died? What the heck?
대습자 수송기에서 광역 정형화 폭탄을 지상으로 투하했다. 보이드 에너지를 정화하려면 꼭 필요해. 아르케로 뇌관을 점화시키고
Yeah, someday I
폭장치를 눌러.
hope to find some jackass who will actually pay the $1.4 million for my truck. Who knocks on my door, It's like, you asked. I'll sell my truck, yeah. No less than that, though. They usually look kind of sour about that. So sorry, nobody makes that truck anymore. Old stick. 6-cylinder. Sounds like missing a door handle. Have the smell of a dead body in it, It's a rare find. Wasn't used to haul marijuana across the border. Take a break. This isn't lagging either. I guess maybe. It was just temporary. 2 seems to be not very long range weapon. Sniper rifle.
끝내주지?
Have a multi-hit weapon. These are target weapons. Get this meatball with this thing is a little rough. Especially if we just teleport everywhere.
이겨내야 해.
I can never kill him. Oh my god, I thought he was gonna end me.
목표 선별.
What do you need?
목표 선별. 명품 목표 선별. 목표 선별. 목표 선별.
Where'd he go? What the heck?
임무 종료. 전원 수송기 위치로 이동 바란다. 고생 많았다고 알림.
Okay, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You've been watching the First Descendant running on PC. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you with the next stream. Maybe the controller won't lag next time.